Biotechnology is a booming field, but we can find a lot of graduates who are coming out every year finds a lot of difficulty in establishing their career in the field of biotechnology. But biotechnology is a greater intervention that creates a lot of novel technologies and produces a product that helps human mankind. But why this problem actually happens? I'm going to talk about all 5 life-changing tips for all the biotech freshers to establish their career in the field of biotechnology. So with no more delay, let's get started to the video. Hey everyone, this is Caroline Green from Biotechnica. So let's talk about all the tips in detail. The tip number 1 is do a market survey on what's trending and choose what interests you the most. The first tip you have to follow as a biotech fresher is you need to know what is the industry demands from you, or we can say what's going trending in the market. So if you know which career to choose, first analyze yourself what is trending in the market, which can be for a long duration of time. Not exactly which is for now, but can be prolonged for a long period of time. Along with that, you need to know whether it interests you the most or whether you have a passion to take up that field, whether it can be in the form of research or whether it can be in the form of an academia or it can be in the form of industries. So choose this tip first. Okay, now you might be confused. Suppose if you are a biotech fresher, you might be confused, where do I have to land up? Will I have a future later after ending up in this job? So you might have a lot of confusion. You might have initial struggle. Yes, as a graduate, when you come out of a college, you might be having initial struggle to choose what exactly is correct, because you might have a lot of things that have been going on in your mind to choose which is correct and which is wrong. So you have initial struggle to decide whether to go for a research or for academia or for an industry. So first, choose which is best for you. So many people used to have a different passion for every field. So you have to know what best suits for you and what's trending exactly in the market. You can choose whether it's research or education. You can join as a professor or a lecturer in a college, or you can go and work in any of the industries. So I'll be talking how you can actually decide what suits you the most. The first thing, search for the right opportunity. Suppose you have decided, yes, I wanted to become a researcher, or you wanted to become a teacher, or you want to become a professor, or you want to enter into any of the industrial fields. Then you have decided, but you do not know what's the right opportunity. And the next important thing is search for the right opportunity by doing a lot of background check or background research. Suppose if I'm talking about research, you have to know what type of research you want to go in for, whether it's a medical research or whether you want to go for agriculture research or whatever it is. Suppose if you want to go in for any kind of academia, whether you want to go to a college or whether you want to go to a university, which university you want to choose. So you need to have a background check after deciding whether it's research or academia or whether it's going to be your industries. So the next important thing is, if you're very focused after your graduation or at the time of your graduation or when you're studying, if you have focused from the start, if you know initially, suppose if you're a viewer who are watching out this video that you're doing any master's degree, first year or second year, if you have decided it by today, whether it's research you want to enter or profession like industries you want to go in for, if you're focused from today, from the start, then you would be coming to a conclusion to find out what should be your career in the near futures and the struggle towards achieving their passion. It's not only important. Suppose if I take it as an example like research. So research needs a lot of commitment. So you need to know what are the problems you will be facing when you're going to choose research. Or if you're talking about a professor, you need to know if you're going to choose this path, what are the struggles you will be going through. You need to know that. So make sure after understanding what your decision is, then look for a background checkup, then know all the pros and cons when you're going to choose this. And definitely you can actually continue achieving your success. Now the decision for us is you have to choose wisely. Yes, you know what you wanted or what your passion is, but how can you choose it so wisely? Yes, suppose, let me take it as an example. If anybody wanted to start your career in an industrial field, then always I would suggest go for companies which are reputed companies. Like you can go for L'Oreal, Novartis, P. Fisher, Rocher, everything. Or you can choose some Indian companies like indigenous companies like Biocons, Icon, Reliance, Tata, every company. Because when you're going to choose a company where you're going to be stagnant for so long period of time, it actually makes a stable and a strong profile for all of you. So builds a stable and a strong profile so that when you're going to go in further in many years, so it gives you a lot of benefits for you. So suppose if anybody wants to go in for education, yes, or we can say if anybody wants to become a professor, entering into an academia. So you need to know you have to finish off your PhD. So, but entering or attaining a PhD degree, you need to know what are the examinations you need to write, like CSIR, ICMR, DBT, or you want to do it abroad. What are the examinations that you have to write if you want to go abroad? So you need to know what are the competitive examinations that are available in India as well as in the countries abroad. So always look for a reputed institution. When you're studying your PhD or your postdoc, after that, you need to know where exactly you want to land up in a reputed institution. You can land up in a government colleges, universities, or India or abroad, anywhere. So this, you need to choose wisely. You should not randomly go and select any of the companies or any of the things or any of the educational institute. Always choose which gives you a permanency. Okay. The next one. Yes, you might be asking me a question. I am interested in teaching, but I won't get a lot of money as I compare it with another one. So I'll be talking about this one in detail. Follow your passion for selecting field of interest. See, it depends on your skills. So how much ever you're going to earn, it's based on the skills that you have. It's not about the career, because each career has its own advantage. So never underestimate any career, whether it's research or whether it's becoming an academia or entering into academia, being a professor or entering into an industrial field. Never underestimate any career choice. Whatever you're going to choose, if you have the skills, definitely as days goes by, your salary will be upgraded. Find a way that associates with the field and earn well at the same time. This is the most important thing I would suggest for everybody who are watching out this video. Suppose if you like to become a researcher, so you need to know, I need to do my research along with a very good amount of salary in hand. Or if you want to become a professor, you need to understand that you need to enter into a reputed institution which pays you more. So you need to follow your passion. Along with that, it should be associated with you to earn well at the same time. So the second thing you have to remember, this one. You may be paid better in a job that you're not satisfied. Yes, sometimes people, let me take it as an example, sometimes people doesn't want to become a professor, or if they doesn't want to become a researcher. But when they enter inside there, if they get more salary, they would not be satisfied that much, but they have a huge salary. In some cases, what can happen is they have a passion, but they will not be getting a good salary in that. So always choose which passionates for you along with a good amount of salary. So this is the next important thing. So the first tip, you have decided what to do. The second important thing is you have to upgrade yourself or acquire new skills or learn, unlearn, relearn and upgrade yourself. So very important thing when you're going to start your career, upgrading your knowledge and your skills. So how can you upgrade your knowledge and your skills? Suppose if I have to talk about research. For research, you need to know techniques. So always learn some novel technologies that's available. You can go in for internships. You can go in for certification program. So read a lot of scientific works. So if you want to become a researcher, you need to know how to read a research paper, starting from the abstract till the conclusion, you need to know. So read a lot of scientific work and always make sure you are updated in the current scenario. Latest ongoing scientific results or current findings that has been done. So always remember if you want to enter. And most important thing I'm going to tell you for people who want to pursue after their biotechnology, entering into a research. If you talk about a scientist always wants or loves to take students who bring novel ideas. So how come you have a novel ideas? If you learn many things, if you have a lot of understanding of the scientific works to the forum and suggest efficient, accurate and faster methods or experiments. It's a collaboration with a scientist. So you need to have such kind of approach when you're gonna go in for research. The next important thing is learn techniques. So this is very important as a biotech graduates. You need to learn a lot of hands-on experience like techniques like CRISPR, Cas or NGS or DNA fingerprinting or HPLC, which are at great demand these days. So if you know any one of these techniques, whether it is in India or whether it is abroad, it's very, very helpful if you're gonna start it. So learn new techniques when you're gonna enter into your career, or I can say if you're gonna do your master's by now, you can learn certification programs, or you can attend some workshops which actually teaches you a hands-on experience or techniques like this. And also you can learn bioinformatics techniques. You can also look in for biotechnology. Okay. Then the tip number, when caught in a race with multiple candidates. Yes, we know there are multiple candidates who come out of every year as a graduate. So there are many people who are coming out, but you have to stand out of it. But the one knows most relevant skill will definitely be preferred over the others. Suppose if a company is demanding CRISPR-Cas, then if you're not knowing CRISPR-Cas technology, then you would not be selected in a company. So no, just upgrade your skills and then start applying so that you can grab it. Okay. Suppose if you are a graduate who want to enter into any companies, if you talk about companies also, some companies, scientific companies are also not only related with pharma and biotechnology, they also talks about some linguistic abilities. They check in for your linguistic abilities like scientific academic writers. So they prefer linguistic abilities. They even send employees from India abroad. Globally, they used to send, they also check in for your linguistic abilities. So always be fluent in many languages if you can, or have a good hold of a certain desired language, which will be a great asset for you. This will definitely going to be helpful. And if you're entering into scientific academic writing, always remember to write articles. Train yourself to write scientific articles. How can you benefit out of this? Yes, write an article, make a review paper, and then publish it. When you're going to publish it, it's getting added to your resume also, and you have an ability to develop your vocabulary along with your writing skill, which can fetch you a job in any of the companies which recruits as a scientific academic writer. So this you can be doing it if you want to go in for any of the companies. Okay, second skill, you have learned some skills, you have upgraded. The next important thing is references. So you need to have a networking more and more. So as a fresher, you will be having a problem of not having a reference letter from the previous company, because now only you got graduated. But an experienced person will always have a reference letter from the previous company. In such cases, what you can do? In such cases, you can actually get a reference letter or recommendation letter from the university teachers or from your lecturers or from your professors, which means you need to be in a collaborations or in a good terms with the faculties or the teacher where you are literally there. So networking is very, very important, because most of the companies, whether it comes to any industrial companies or academia or research, they used to want to know more about you. So networking is very, very important. So employers and institutions started asking for reference letters about your skills and abilities, because whatever you put in your resume has to be overchecked back again. So an experienced individual will definitely have references, but as a fresher, I'm talking about a biotech fresher, so the reference begins at the college or university. So you always remember, when you're coming out of your graduation, try to have some 3 to 4 reference or recommendation letter from the professor or from the HOD or from persons who are at a reputed positions. Then you can have the references. At least have some 3 to 4 references, and always be in good terms with them, so that suppose if you apply for your educational purposes, they only have to give you a recommendation letter to apply for any universities. Okay, so your behavior and the skills will also be analyzed, and always do your best in your college as well as in your university. That will help to build your career. So this will help to analyze your prospect first, and the main purpose is, the key is to be of help to get help. That's the main purpose. So always have networking with people. The next important thing, yes, you have upgraded your skills, you have found what is your passion, you also had a network, like you had a reference letter. Now the question, how can I apply? Where can I apply? Suppose if you are a graduate who wanted to start any industries, so you need to look in for the opportunities. Everything is listed in one website. So one such thing I would suggest is going to be Biotechnica. Biotechnica is going to be India's #1 job portal site, where you can see whether it is research or whether it is going to be about a company or whether it is going to be about academia. So you need a source to find out the job opportunities available. So definitely you can go for Biotechnica and find out whether it is research or whether it is academia or whether it is industry. So if you want to pursue any one of these things or end up in any of these career, then you can look in for Biotechnica. So Biotechnica has now told you that these opportunities are available. To that, there would be a link available. So click onto the link and start application process of this one. So whether it is, so now you got to know how to apply and where to apply. So always go in for the website and check in for this. The next important thing is, yes, everything is ready. Now you have to submit your resume or your cover letter. Cover letter will literally tell you about yourself in a detailed way, but in a very concise way, but you'll be talking in detail also more than a resume. So design your resume or your CV and your cover letter very, very carefully. So you should not do certain mistake. You can watch out the video, some mistakes that you'll be doing in your resume as well as in your cover letter. So design your resume and your cover letter very, very carefully. What you have to do, highlight the right details in your profile. What is important? Do not write in paragraph. Instead, write it which is exactly needed, and always make a personalized resume. When you're starting anything, always make a personalized resume. Do not use the same resume for all the job profiles. Always look in for the criteria that the company asks for and modify the resume accordingly and then submit the resume, because there are some scanners which will suggest the keywords exactly the company wants. Suppose if they ask for CRISPR, and if you don't have a word CRISPR in your resume, this will be rejected definitely. So make a resume very personalized for a very specific profile. And for an educational institute, do not focus on any management skills, but you can focus on like teaching abilities, knowledge along with your paper publications. Okay, the next important thing, always showcase your certificates. If you have done some extra certificates, you can actually include that too. And always personalize your CV or cover letter according to the job that they ask for. And the good resume is quite informative in the least amount of words. Yes, there's also going to be a debate that's been going on how many pages of resume is needed. Almost a maximum of 3 is required. Try to make it till 1 to 2 pages. So make a cover letter and your CV very crisp. So today's video, we were actually talking about the 5 important life-changing tips for all the biotech freshers. So starting from how you're going to start, how you're going to decide until you make your resume. So I believe that this video is helpful for all of you who are watching out this video. So if you really like this video, please like, share, subscribe to our channel Biotechnica. So thank you all of you for joining, and I'm going to meet you back again with another video. Thank you.